Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a brand new episode of the Gamer Section podcast where we do this for the gamers by the gamers. I am Kano, the brutally honest gamer.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sinister, and hey, let's get this show on the road.
All right, but before we get into all that, man, Sinister, go ahead and let them know that we got a sponsorship. Let them know everything.
All right, yeah, yes, we do, folks. Just give me a sec. All right, yeah, I just want to say a shout out to W Energy. If you're grinding through a long gaming session, late night streams, or just need the extra focus, then W Energy has you covered. It's zero sugar, no artificial colors, packed with clean energy that keeps you going without the crash. And here's the best part. Part of the gamer section community, you can use this code gamer section at checkout for get a special deal. And seriously, whether you're gaming, creating, or just need a boost, grab your W energy and level up your focus and energy. And that's DUBBY energy and code gamer section.
Already, man. Like he said, if y'all ain't got the W Energy products yet, man, y'all definitely need to go get the products, man. It's definitely lit. And also, we're gonna send a rest in peace to Retro. If y'all didn't know about Retro, he was a former member of the Gamer Section podcast and brand itself. Unfortunately, he had passed away some time ago, and we never got a chance to really, say that. So, condolences to his family, and there are the thoughts. Our thoughts and our prayers are within their family.
Yeah, rest in paradise, Retro.
Yeah, figurative facts, no fiction, man. So that being said, let's get the show on the road. So, Sinister, what you been playing for the week outside of the reviews?
Uh, that mainly just still going through AC Shadows, just going through doing all these missions and leveling up.
Mm-hmm.
I really haven't played anything else outside of that. With the time with the time I have, because got a little one.
No, I feel that. I definitely feel that. For me, I finally completed the AC Shadows DLC. Um, it's actually a good DLC. Wasn't the best as far as like the main attraction of the main game, but it's definitely pretty cool. I finished up Metal Gear Solid Delta. I beat that game. I'm at the end of Battlefield 6 single player campaign, and I've done beat about so far this over halfway through the month and I already beat like 6 games already. Cause I beat Alone in the Dark on PlayStation. You dig? Uh,
Yep.
what else I beat? Uh, I can't think of it off the top of the head, but I know for a fact I did beat like 6 games, like already. And this ain't even been like the whole month yet. So yeah, man, I made it a mission to make sure I continue to complete these games that I've been playing. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these are the games I'm talking about that's outside of the reviews that I have. And one of the reviews that's coming soon is the Detective Rainy Nights. I got a lot to say about that review. It's about to be like I have pros and cons. That's all I'm gonna have to say about the game is pros and cons, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I got a coming review that's coming up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll hear my 2 cents on that one, but I'm not gonna reveal the name. Once it's alive, and y'all can see for yourself.
Figurative facts, no fiction. Figurative facts, no fiction. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about Def Jam Fight for New York for a second, right?
Mm.
So everybody knows that I'm a huge Def Jam Fight for New York fan and NBA Street. I like that, the extreme sports games like the, Def Jam and all the other stuff, right?
Yep.
So I just keep it a bean. I ain't gonna, sugarcoat nothing. Now I've seen 2 games that's trying to be spiritual successors to Def Jam Fight for New York, and one of them is called Underground World War, and another one called Only Hands or God Hands, one of the two by this rapper by the name of Sauce Walker. Shout out to Sauce Walker. And you could definitely see the potential in both games. And side note, y'all hit me up if y'all need some music from me. I definitely bring some fire music if y'all need some music from me. You know what I'm saying, to put on the game. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, but I digress though. But you could definitely see the potential of both of the actual games, right? When it comes to Underground World War, it has the stigma of Fight for New York, especially with the subway machines. But what I see it is you could tell it's kind of still in like pre-early development. You don't really what's in full development, but it's like kind of early development with the alpha stage because you could see by the HUD it's not 100% up to par. You could definitely see that they still need a lot of work and need to boost up the graphics to make it a lot more better to stand out. And the same thing for only hands or God hands, one of the two other names. I'm gonna just say God hands. You know what I'm saying? So those two games right there definitely needs that boost in getting the graphical right. You feel me? And I think God hands that look like that's gonna be only a mobile game. You know, I could be wrong, but that like most likely a mobile game. But from what you saw with it, what's your thoughts about that game, Underground World War though?
I mean, that underground game, yeah, it was like my first thought was just fight for New York. It was like, I mean, just the way like the fighting in the subway, just like the original game. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I still there's some work that needs to be done on it just to improve it, just to help it stand out. Same with the other one. Just I mean, it's good that you don't want to bring that back, bring like the fun factor.
Yeah,
How great those games are because the last Death game was Fight for New York. I mean, Vendetta set the blueprint. So I mean,
yeah,
yeah, right now nothing's just been topping like Fight for New York.
yeah.
We're
We're
not
not gonna.
we're not gonna discuss icons. That game is
Yeah,
garbage.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was about to say. We're not gonna discuss icons. Icons is irrelevant to Fight for New York and Vendetta. But we already know why we're not getting another Dev Gen game based off the fact that there's a lot of licensing agreements that need to be done, a lot of music that needs to be put together. And then we're in a day and age of where new rappers don't sound like they rappers; they sound more like trying to be R&B singers with them doing more singing rap than actual rapping. You feel what I'm saying? So uh, there's a lot to it when it comes to that game, and you know what I'm saying. Who wouldn't mind seeing uh, Meek Mill fight a Takashi 69 on the game? You feel what I'm saying?
right. Because I mean, you got to think about it. Like Fight for New York, it had the engine, the Aki engine that's been used. Like for anybody on the N64, it's been used in the wrestling games, like WWF No Mercy,
Yeah.
WCW Revenge. Just a few examples right there. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just like that simple engine, and man, it's just simple, soft or hard press, and you can do a lot of things like that. Now,
Oh yeah.
Icon, yeah, of course, it's about the last time I mentioned Icon. It was like a different studio using the beat as like for your finish. I was like, come on, and then just the animation on there was so choppy and everything. So that's
Yeah.
like no,
Definitely. I definitely feel that that's for facts, no fiction. Man, it just bring back like looking at Underground World War. It brings back memories of like Fight for New York. But that game, I think it needs about at least 2 more years of development. That's just my honest take because you don't want to rush out a product and then you get trash like Cold Violent. But
right. No,
you know
you
you
never know when you get called out. But I mean, like I said,
yeah
I mean, if it's done by indie studios, I mean, heck, take more time to get it done. Don't be like the AAA ones, just rush it out there, then you get called out, and everybody wants a refund.
exactly. Honestly think that they just need to take their time. If they need to do like a Kickstarter or get a budget right, man, just do that. But if they want promo, they need to come holler at us. If they want to get interviewed, man, what I'm saying, we'll help them out. What I'm saying, push the boundaries of it. And shout out to Quarter K too. They got their upcoming PC hybrid console that they're working on right now. It's coming soon. You dig?
You're right.
So yeah, man, let's talk about Cold Violent, bro. Let's,
All
let's
right.
get into Cold Violent. So all right, now Cold Violent. I want like I'll just say this: Cold Violent is a tragedy of a game. There was potential there, but it was a tragedy of a game because it was cheaply made, and the design of the game was trying to be like a love letter to Dino Crisis, but fell flat on its face. And the studio behind it, Team Q Media, has been doing a lot of falsified things that it's not cool for us gamers and not cool for the gaming culture. And I'll go ahead and elaborate further. Shout out to the people in the chat. Um, I say it like this here: when it comes to Team Kill Media and what they have done that is totally wrong is they have been false flagging a lot of content creators that actually has been critical of the game. It's like if you criticize the game, they're gonna false flag you. And not only that, from what I found out about the company Team Kill Media, they're basically making the games illegally. You get me? And with them actually making games illegally, they can get lawsuits and possibly charges pressed upon them. And mind y'all, Team Kill Media is made from like created from four brothers. Four brothers actually created that game. You feel what I'm saying? And they've basically made a lot of illegal games. Like if y'all not familiar with Team Kill Media, they created games like Quantum Error, which was terrible. They made Sun and Bone, which is terrible, and now Cold Violent, which is a terrible game. And they only pushing the game on PlayStation because PlayStation has a policy of not giving refunds out to the consumers that actually bought the game. So basically, PlayStation get their percentage. Well, actually, Sony get their percentage of the game, but the other proceeds go to Team Kill Media, and they already working on Quantum Error 2 and Sun and Bone 2 and all that other stuff. Honestly, I always say when it comes to Team Kill Media, I just say just hang it up. Hang it up now, or it's gonna be too late for them based off the fact that they already got class action lawsuits coming to them from a lot of content creators that got the videos false flag for no reason. And you're basically taking the cheap ways out of basically creating these games, and these games are 100% broken and sometimes unplayable. So in my honest opinion, they need to just bow out of game development, or if they make their next game, take their good old sweet old time making it so they can get good reviews. Because you cannot get mad at the critics of you having a bad game. And another thing that they have to do is stop fanboying towards a product, stop being a fanboy towards PlayStation, and create games that's a multi-platform style to it. Like if you want to make more money, put it on Xbox and put it on Nintendo. Continue to have it on PC. Because the only game that you had on PC was Sun and Bone. You feel me? And the game was a flop. So, and not only that, you have your studio supposed to be based out of Wyoming, but come to find out that the studio was defunct back a few years ago, and now y'all saying y'all in Montana, which is not so. So you basically are creating games and pushing it out there illegally to the point now where you can catch a massive lawsuit, and you can actually get fined and charged for that considered a fraudulent crime. It's considered fraud, and that's a crime. So Sinister, what are your thoughts about that, man?
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, what's going on? Like people who bought the game can't get a refund, but yeah, but as for these four brothers, like, yeah, y'all deserve all the smoke that's going on right now. It's like, I mean, you can't do things the right way, like go through the proper channels, like how to make the game, fix it. I mean, think about it. Like before this game hit, you had two previous flops that came out. And
Yeah.
it seems like y'all did not learn from history repeating itself over and over. It seemed like you didn't learn your lesson the first time, and now
No.
you got these lawsuits. It's like you get the heat's coming down on you real quick. That's like, look, either do things the right way, or basically you could be sued out of existence because what you done is a crime. Y'all gonna do some time right behind bars. It's like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
look, do the right thing now, or it's gonna be too late.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about like doing sequels to these two games, come on. How you said they keep making all these games like they're flopping? It's like ain't no one gonna support a failing product.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? No, but all I'm gonna say is like get it right now, or basically do some time behind bars because you're gonna have no computer behind bars.
And it looks like they're not letting up because with that studio they're being fanboys towards PlayStation, and the
That's
only reason why they're fanboying towards PlayStation is based off the fact, and this is just me being real, based off the fact that they getting money from PlayStation because of that refund policy. Because that refund policy with Sony is horrendous. Basically, if you buy a game, you can't get your money back. It don't matter if you played it for 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, you can't get that money back, which I honestly think that's an extremely unfortunate thing, and it's an unforced error for Sony, and it goes to show that they also have anti-consumer practices, but not as bad as Nintendo. Nintendo does definitely have some bad anti-consumer practices that they need to really work on for the consumer base. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I say
there was a
Steam.
playbook on that.
Exactly. And that's why I say Steam and Microsoft, they know how, and even Epic Game Store, they are very good when it comes to the refund policy.
Right.
And that's why it's an unfortunate circumstances when it comes to studios that like to manipulate the system. You feel me? And not really give back to the consumers. Because honestly, Cold Violet, and this is the kicker, we reached out to this dude named Makai, right? He's one of the people that is at Team Kill Media. We was trying to get a review code for Cold Violet, and we didn't get a review code for the game. And we could have gave a fair assessment of the game. We probably would have gave it a better review score than any other platform.
Right.
Well, actually, excuse me, media outlet. But they basically didn't respond to us, and then I feel like their communication skills is horrendous too, because they don't, respond well to criticism, and then they feel like they're above everybody else. You're saying you ain't above everybody, and the criticism of that game 100% shows that you're not above everybody. And they need to go back to the drawing board, really come together, not AI the game at all, and really formulate a game that will have critics praise your game, then criticize your game. Because 3 games in a row, you have 3 critically flop games, and your games is horrendous. And me seeing the reviews of Cold Violet on a lot of different other outlets and a lot of different other content creators shows that your game is bad. And then you look on Metacritic, the game shows that you're at a 29. If you at a 29, what that tell you? Sinister. If that game's a 29, what that tell you?
It's a dumpster fire.
Exactly. And they seem to not learn their lesson when it comes to their games. They don't listen to the consumers. They don't listen to the feedback.
All they care about is getting the money.
Exactly. I feel like when it comes to Team Kill Media, I feel like that's the type of studio. I don't even look at it as a studio, honestly. I think they take assets and basically AI it out, throw it through from the beginning and to the end of stages of the game. Same thing with the gameplay mechanics. Same thing with the storytelling. They probably AI'd it out and just put it together in a fast pace and just put it out there, you know what I'm saying, without really getting the bugs and kinks out of the games that they put out. And that's why they're getting criticized the way they deserve that. And honestly, I'm gonna say it again, they deserve to be criticized for that. Because us as gamers, we're gonna call it like we see it. Us at the gamer section as well, we call it like we see it.
Yeah, nobody gets a pass. Everybody gets the smoke. I mean, and
Yeah.
there's another thing is like they didn't want to put that game on PC because like because of the modding because of your character was like over sexualized. Like yeah, we don't want any inappropriate modding. It's like man, get out of here. That's
Yeah,
like
that was a lie. Because if you look at it like this, on that whole game, they over sexualized the main character in the game. So
right.
there is no reason for them to talk. That's why they're basically hypocrites, to be
Yep.
honest.
Yeah, where's Drew McIntyre? You need it because he likes to call out the hypocrisy.
Nah, facts, and there's no lies detected for the that's figurative facts, no fiction. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I ain't really got too much else to say about it. The only thing I would have to say is Team Q Media is basically hypocrites for one. Two, they putting out games illegally without no actual classification on and documentation of their games and of their studio itself. You dig? So they deserve all the smoke that they got, you know what I mean? And they didn't want to give us a review code, which we're not tripping about. It's just that we see that your game is not that good, and then us as the gamer section, as the brand, we're on the up and up. You dig?
Right. Yeah, so right now I gotta hold that major L because all the heat they're getting.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Figgity facts, no fiction.
All right, y'all. Let's go move on to the next topic, and this time it's talking about GameStop. So you probably
Mhm.
heard seen on the news lately that GameStop has been closing over 400 stores across the country. And of course, like I was checking out like some of the listings on there, and there was a few here in Kentucky, where I live at. I
Mhm.
seen some of them got closed off. It's like, and it's like I said, I feel bad for those who lost their jobs and everything because I mean, yeah, because that's probably their first job, or probably they've been there for a long while. They're probably passionate about it,
Mhm.
because every scenario is different. But however, I hate to see them lose their job because the higher ups chose like, hey, yeah, they want to get their bonuses and all that. So, well, what's the only way to do it? Let's shut down a lot of these stores so that that way their pockets get fatter, and everybody else is going to struggle and got to find work elsewhere.
Mhm.
Things like But it's one thing, can like in your state, like have you seen like how many GameStops have they closed down around there?
A lot, a lot. And I'll be honest with you. The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because GameStop is a shell of its former self.
Yep,
Back in the days when it was back in the days, okay, it used to be called Babbage's and did EB Games, right?
yep.
We used to like go in there and we used to like play the games heavy, like especially with the when the PS2 and the original Xbox that came out. We used
Hmm.
to like go up in there. We used to play some of the upcoming games that was coming out for these platforms, and it used to be fun. Then we used to go look at the covers of the games for like the PS2, the GameCube, and the original Xbox, and we used to like dream of like, man, one day we're gonna go buy them games from places, right? And then
Yep.
fast forward to now and how the digital market is when we get digital games, the physical media I wouldn't say is dying out. I feel like that it's not where it used to be. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's not because of us consumers playing digital. It's because of more of the publishers of wanting to just go more towards the digital market so they can get more money from the digital market than the physical market. Get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And when it comes to GameStop, not that many people have been going in there. GameStop has mostly have nothing but apparel stuff like merch and stuff like that. Like you see majority of merch and clothing over the gaming side. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And that's unfortunate error that they messed up at, which they should have had improved up on and did better marketing and bringing people to want to buy products out of GameStop, which they failed to do so. Because back in the days, they used to have a heavy marketing within commercials when it comes to GameStop, and you don't see that no more. And not only that, even when you go look on YouTube and stuff like that, you don't see no type of commercials of people getting products from GameStop. And then it's to the point right now where you don't even see like you don't have no midnight launches for games no more at GameStop. Like the last midnight launch that I actually went to for GameStop was Kingdom Hearts 3.
The last one I went to is when Red Dead Redemption 2 dropped.
Facts. And mind you, Kingdom Hearts 3, everybody know that's one of my favorite games, like favorite franchise. Kingdom Hearts is always one of my favorite franchises, but I digress. When it comes to like GameStop, man, GameStop used to be fun, like to go to when it comes to midnight launches. I remember Grand Theft Auto 5 when I got it for the 360. I was out there, it was jam pack out there. You heard what I'm saying? But as you can hear, the car sounds outside. But what I'm saying to y'all is GameStop is basically a shell of its former self. GameStop ain't what it used to be. GameStop really is not. It's not hitting on that no more. It's just more of a merch shop than a game shop nowadays. It's
Exactly.
like you can go get games from a mom and pop shop, then you actually can go to GameStop to get games. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, but before you continue on, like we have a place like called Game Exchange. I mean, we have a few of them here in Kentucky, but I've seen there's probably a few in Texas. But probably I could be wrong. It's probably more than that. But
Mm-hmm.
anywho, but the Game Exchange is like you get more in your returns than you do at GameStop because they want to cheat you out of your returns and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and of course, and additionally, the CEO Ryan Cohen. I mean, this dude got up to $35 billion in stock
Mm-hmm.
options.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the higher ups, like with them closing the store, it fattens their pockets. But then,
Mm-hmm.
of course, everybody else suffers because they only see you as a number.
No, I agree. They definitely just see that as a number. Um, and the crazy thing is though, the people that used to work at GameStop, some of them were gamers and some of them are really just not. They just there to just to get a paycheck. Because you can ask about certain games or when they have new releases or what type of like games that used to be fun. They can give you an answer, and there's some that really will talk to you about games.
Yeah,
Uh,
sometimes some of them will annoy you. They're like, it's hey, hey, you want this? Hey, like, oh, hey, I recommend get this protection thing. It's like, bro, I'm good. Hey, in case if something breaks or something like that. So, again, I'm good. I take care of my games.
yeah, not only that, they definitely be fanboying in there too.
Hmm.
They definitely be fanboying. Like, let's say if you want to get you like an Xbox or whatever, bro, you try to like get you like an Xbox, they're gonna try to deter you from that to get like a PlayStation. You feel me? Or you know what I'm saying, or get something for like a Nintendo if you want to get like, or the complete opposite. If you want to get you a PlayStation, they try to tell you to get you to get an Xbox, which they need to really work on and tighten up on that side.
Exactly. It's like I was like, bro, it's like, look, we know what we were gonna get. Like, we enjoy with the platforms of choice, whether it be Nintendo, like the Switch, uh, the Xbox Series S and X, or PS5 or
Right.
PC, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, no, man, like I know what I came in there to get, but sometimes they will annoy the heck out of you. Like, even
Mm-hmm.
though you go in there, you know the section you're going to, but then sometimes they be right there trying to, deter you just to buy you something, sell you something,
Yeah, man. And the thing about it is though, I still got love for GameStop. You know what I'm saying? I still got
Mhm.
love for GameStop. That's childhood memories. That's never gonna go away. It's just
Right,
in order for GameStop to succeed, and you also got to know this is like we're in the last days and all this other stuff, blah blah blah, right? But
right,
you got to look at what we in right now. We in a time of inflation. We in a time of manipulation, and we in a time of lack of communication and bad illustration. You get what I'm saying? So we're just in that time frame where everybody's not going out as much, and when it comes to buying games, they rather just get it digitally. And it all started back on the Xbox 360, PS3 days when they started introducing digital games to the forefront. You dig? So we're in that space of. I'll just say this: we're in that space that digital games is really taking over, and the majority of games that we're reviewing to this day is digital only games. You feel me?
right on.
Uh
Because
huh.
yeah, because you got to think about it. Is I mean, when you mentioned the 360 and the PS3, because like those are the last good systems that you could actually buy the physical disc, pop it in there.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like later revisions, it will let you download the game from the disc, but other
Hmm.
times you can just play the game from the disc. It ran just fine. But that generation after that, with the PS4 and Xbox One, and up until now, you pop your disc in there, it has to download to the system or whatever updates is, it's got all the content from the disk will go onto the system. Or you
Hmm.
have to go online to get even more information, like if it's DLC or anything like that. So yeah, but yeah, 'cause at the times we're in right now, it's like people have to be smarter with their money, because games are getting too expensive just along with everything else out there. It's like I was like, hey, I gotta pick and choose. Like either I get some food in the house or I want to buy me some games. Uh, I'd rather choose the important stuff like getting some food and keep clothes on my back so that way I have a roof over my head rather than just sit
Hmm.
there playing on a console and end up losing that too.
Nah, facts, facts, facts. Only thing I can say about when it comes to like GameStop is it's a shell of its former self. I call it the merch shop because that's what it really lies in. And the reason how GameStop was making their money because of the pre-owned games, and they will get more money off of the pre-owned games over the new games. And we're at the point where we don't need GameStop, and it's unfortunate that I have to say that. You heard me, but it's like we don't need GameStop anymore. We can buy digital games, or since we're the gaming section, we basically get review codes, so we review games and stuff like that. So we get free games. So we're just at the point right now where it's GameStop is not needed like that no more. And but the people that still love physical media, like I still love physical copies of games. I rather physical copies over digital, and I know you the same way. But we're in that day and age where physical media is kind of in a phase out stage at this point.
Right. That's unfortunate because I mean I'm like you, I'm old school. I was like that's what I grew up on. That's like I still got some of my physical media, but times now I mean, excuse me, times now. I mean, you got games that they're just digital. I mean, that's what they're pushing for.
Nah, I agree with you on that. But speaking of like studios, right?
Hmm.
So Iron Root Studios was founded by former ZeniMax devs. So talk to me about that. Like what did you come up with when you was doing like the diligence on that topic?
I mean, when I came across of it, because I found out like the people who used to be at ZeniMax, like they were laid off by Microsoft
Yeah.
because like industry wide, there's been cuts here and there. So I showed like to those who lost their jobs. some of them found it difficult, like just to find other jobs elsewhere. So one of them, Quentin Cobb, he decided, to come up with Iron Games, just
Hmm.
come up with his own studio, so that way he can get back out there. And
Right.
probably help some of the other people out there who were laid off, so that way they find some work. That way they can still be passionate about it, because
Yeah. But I say like this, it's a good that we got a new studio, and it look like it's going to be an indie studio. Um,
yeah,
what I would want to see within that studio is don't make another game like Starfield. Like honestly, Starfield is not a bad game, but it's not a good game because what I don't like about some of the Bethesda games that they do create, man, they make stuff so complex. Like,
right,
why don't you just simplify things like especially like when you playing Starfield and building the ship and trying to get your weapons and critique everything, you have to make everything super complex. And that's what I didn't like about Starfield. I still got to go back and finish the game because I'm like, I said about halfway done with the game, but Starfield is not a like I said, it's not a bad game, but that game right there was just too complex. But when it comes to Iron Studios, hopefully they make something that's worthwhile. Like make like a first person shooter that's going to be wowing on the levels of the Outer Worlds 2. You hear me? Or Borderlands 4 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or make a hack and slash game on the levels of Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, and have a compelling story. You feel me? Don't make something that's similar to The Witcher and Starfield and Fallout, man. Make something that's unique in your own way. You get me?
Ex- exactly, because like I mean, it's like the previous podcast that we talked about, like the difference with AAA and indie studios. Like, I mean, for those who lost their job starting their own studios from the ground up, it's like, hey, I say go the indie route. There's less red tape to go through.
Yeah.
I know it's like when it comes to fun, I know that's a tricky situation, but however, like at least that, I mean, you can make the games that you want to make.
Hmm.
Don't have to worry about deadlines and stuff like from a publisher and everything. So I mean, basically everything's ran, probably through a group. I'm sure they all have their meetings out like, hey, what's the projects that we're going to work on? Who's going to do work on what?
Hmm.
And so, they come up with ideas like, hey, we have this game. It's like, hey, like, try not to copy trends out there. It's like, hey, let's try to come up with our own. Like, it's like, hey, think outside the box. I mean, that's one of the things I like about these indie studios. Like, they think outside the box and they can take more risk versus their AAA counterparts.
Nah, facts. I agree 100%. You know what I mean? I definitely agree 100%. That's why, personally, for me, I like indie games a little bit more, like indie studios and indie games a little bit more than AAA games, is because, like, when it comes to indie games and indie developers, they take more risk and they do something different, sometimes outside of the box. As far as like AAA developers and games, as far as like what we see now, it's like they're scared to take a risk and they just follow a trend to see what's hot. And I, I have to say this, and it's unfortunate that I have to say this, but it's Ubisoft is like the number one example of them following trends and not setting their own. Because back in the days, Ubisoft used to create their own games and set their own wave. But lately, they just been following the trends and milking games like Assassin's Creed. They milked the heck out of Assassin's Creed. Like we already got another Assassin's Creed game that they're working on, the remake to Assassin's Creed 4, Flag, which I think is actually a good game. And then you have we just did an article on that one, the Hexium game, and it's
Yep.
kind of like a which type of game, I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then you got Far Cry 7 that's supposed to come out, down the road. Then people are asking about Splinter Cell and Beyond Good and Evil 2, in them realms. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. For
So
the next Ghost Recon.
in the next Ghost Recon, which is supposed to be a reboot. So like Ubisoft used to like stand out and make a lot of different original games, but nowadays they're just a shell of former self because they're just too busy uh, trying to follow a trend, like I just said earlier, and that's why they keep falling flat on their face. Like they did, they tried to make an X Defiant, which was an epic fail. You making a lot of money off of Rainbow Six Siege right now, and people
Mhm.
still playing it to this day, and especially in these tournaments and everything. When they say tournaments, like in New York, they say tournaments, but they they just don't know how to stay in their own lane and create their own wave. Like they're definitely going to make a lot of money on the new Rayman game that they're going to be rebooting or whatever. They're going to make a lot of money on the next Far Cry game if they make it original and stop making it in the same formula. Because for the ever since Far Cry 3 with Far Cry 4, Primal 5, and 6, it's been pretty much almost the same formula. You just on a big land or island or whatever. You're having the same type of weapons. You're basically just trying to capture a territory, and the story goes the same way. You hear me? So Ubisoft got to get it together. They got to tighten up ASAP when it comes to their games and how they formulate things. If they don't formulate, then they're gonna end up being a failure down the road. And the same thing with EA. They kind of like got complacent. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
they
because
need.
you
No,
gotta
go
think
ahead.
about it, EA is like one of those one of those publishers. Like they bear so many studios and stuff like that because they've
Hmm.
been like on the microtransactions heavy. Then Ubisoft has been following suit with some of their games, but throwing microtransactions out there is like really, they're really trying to gamble with our money. It's like that's all I'm saying, man. You got to think with your wallet.
Yeah. Now I agree with you 100% though, man. But speaking about EA, about Anthem, man, man, Anthem. It's a tricky situation about Anthem, and Anthem. From my time of playing it, especially the time before the service closed down, you see potential within that game. But the problem that I see with the game is they was going to try to microtransaction that game out, and that wasn't going to be a good look for that brand. And that's why they messed up.
Hmm.
Um, and from the developers that actually created Anthem, they had a lot of trauma and mental health issues from developing that game. Um, I'm sorry for them that went through that. What are your thoughts about that, though, Sin?
I mean, yeah, because I was sad like what they went through like to create this game because I'm for, unfortunately I never had a chance to play it. While it was still active before it being shut down. But I
Yeah.
mean, for those who work on it, yeah, you got to think about it. Like that's a lot of time and effort just to create a game like that, like from the
Hmm.
ground up. And I mean, yeah, because Bioware, I mean, Bioware's no small studio. It's like, I
Nah.
mean, this is the same studio behind Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic, but the way they made this game is, yeah, it's like whoever came up with the decision to throw the microtransaction, yeah, that was a really bad look. That's like I said, but from the looks of it, it's not a bad game. It was just unfortunate, it went out due to circumstances. Like, but for those, like the game went bye bye, and then I mean, you got to think of the people who worked on it.
Hmm.
It's just they struggled physically, mentally, and all that. It's like, I mean, I feel bad for them. I mean, I hope they get the help that they need, before getting back out there.
Yeah, they definitely gonna have to, get right. I think they that was probably in the past. I think they better now than where they was.
Right.
I think when it comes to Bioware, that's also like I said before. When it comes to Ubisoft, it's more of a shell of its former self because they used to make like great games like Jade Empire, the Mass Effects,
Yep.
the Dragon Ages that was actually good. Like I said, Dragon Age, the Valgar's not a bad game. It's actually pretty solid to me. It's just the story was kind of like weak a little bit, which they could have actually improved upon. But it is what it is at the end of the day. You feel me? I still got to go back to Dragon Age the Valkyrie. We still gonna give y'all a review for that game, so y'all stay tuned for that too.
Right.
Um, but uh, Anthem, man, Anthem could have been something much more. They could have had a great co-op storytelling campaign that's worthwhile, or actually a single player campaign that's worthwhile on Anthem. They could have took out the microtransactions. There's like so much stuff that they could have did with that game that could have made it worthwhile, but unfortunately, Anthem is not what it used to be. Anthem's pretty much gone because even if you try to load up Anthem now, you can't play the game at all because it's unplayable because they made it online only, which they shouldn't have never had done. Period. You dig?
Right.
And that's a fail. That's 100% fail. But I ain't got nothing else to say about that.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the next topic. And of course, we saw it a few days ago, and that is the Resident Evil showcase. So we're
Mhm.
just going to give our thoughts about it in more detail than we did the other day during the stream. But
Yeah.
I mean, for me, being a big Resident Evil fan, because in 2 months it's this 30th anniversary. But as far as Requiem goes, it's cool that you get to see a little bit more gameplay, which you're going to anticipate, because
Mhm.
Leon Kennedy returns. He's going to be all action heavy, with his swift kicks and his weapons, things like that. You got a new character, Grace.
Mhm.
I think she's going to be like the more stealthy of the two. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's always cool. You have like two characters with two different playstyles, so they don't play the same.
Mhm.
Just better the experiences. But I mean, not to go rambling on too much, but I just got to say, it's like when Leon gets that chainsaw, I was like, I was like, oh man, he was just going ham out there. Yeah, dig. But and of course, like seeing some of the pre-ordered like costumes, like seeing like Grace have that looks like Lady D. I was like, if I ever get that kind of edition, I would definitely play that game with her with that skin, with the Lady
Yeah.
D skin color.
Mhm.
But not the ramble. Kano, what are your thoughts?
I'm definitely excited for Resident Evil Requiem. I'm glad that you could have a choice between either playing it in first person or third person.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, for me, I'd rather play Resident Evil in third person because that's what it always meant to be, to play in Resident Evil game in third person rather than first person. Um, when we played Resident Evil Biohazard, aka Resident Evil 7, it was
Yeah,
first person. It was cool, but I didn't like it 100% because it was a first person. But Resident Evil Village, it started out in first person until they did a massive update, which I have to call out because that was some bullcrap. They made you pay to play the game in third person.
mm-mm.
I think that was a bunch of bullcrap, but it is what it is. And when it comes to Requiem, you can either play it in first person or third person, which I love. But when it comes to the gameplay aspects of it, playing as Leon, you definitely see some stuff that's gonna wow you in the long haul. With some of the action based sequences when it comes to Leon, and then playing as Grace. When it comes to her, you have that stealth side, but it's not really stealth. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
kind of like Resident Evil 2. If you play like Resident Evil 2 and you playing as Leon and Claire on Resident Evil 2, it's kind of like that instance. It's not really stealth, but you really gotta be careful and watch your surroundings, basically.
Yep.
So I'm definitely excited about that. But I could tell lengthwise, it's definitely going to be a long game, a very long game. It's going to be longer than I say 7 and 8 kind of put together. And then the question is, will they have DLC? What's going to happen with Chris on this? Will he return on the DLC aspects of it? Because to me, I feel like this is the final one where they're using Leon in this game, or will they do spinoffs? But when it comes to Requiem, I'm definitely excited to see how the story unfolds and
Right.
who's still going to be around or who's going to be unalive afterwards. So we'll definitely have to see.
Yeah, just another thing, like we mentioned, like with Resident Evil 7 going to first person. Actually, like back then, right before the first game, it was the idea to go in third person, but due to the limited hardware of the PS1,
Yeah.
they found Shinji Mikami. He decided like, to go first. Well, yeah, go into third person,
Hmm.
which made it better because due to limitations at that time. So, yeah, the whole first person thing, it wasn't just something that just came out of nowhere. There was something that was used before, but now we got better, better tech and hardware. That's why the reason they went to in the first person mode with Ethan. No,
Yeah,
it's
that
cool
is
that
true.
all that. Uh-huh.
I say, yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that they try something different. With the with Ethan, like, hey, let's do it from another perspective. But I mean, with RE Village, when they came out, yeah, because later on, it's like, hey, you could do third person, which is cool, and all just to play it from another, another point of view and everything, which is cool. But as far as Requiem, oh yeah, it's nice that you get the option of going third or first person. How is it? I mean, I'll play it in both ways just to get my 2 cents on it. When it definitely when that game drops, or wherever get a review code, because I can't wait to break this whole thing down. But as far as the showcase goes, it's great and everything. But yeah, but what do you think about the combat and of course, the DLC? Well, the pre-order DLC that they showed.
It's weak. I feel like it's weak. You're not giving. nothing that's bang for your buck when it comes to the deluxe edition.
Right.
All you're getting is really skins and costumes and stuff like that, and cosmetic little things. It's not really like wowing people to wanting to buy the deluxe or ultra edition or whatever, unless they give you a free will where within the pre-order range where you can actually get some DLC coming with it. And what I've noticed about it is you could definitely tell they might not even have DLC for this game. This might be like this is it. You feel me? It's like that's the last hurrah when it comes to the story with Leon and I wish they would have added some with Claire in the midst of it. That would have been dope. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, yeah, I'll say they probably will add DLC. Probably like a future update. They may throw something in there. I probably threw another mode in there like they did with the Resident Evil 4 remake because they had that mercenary mode they just threw in there that was free.
Yeah,
That way,
but you already know that like when it comes to Resident Evil Requiem, they definitely gonna have their own version of mercenary mode. So that's obvious that's gonna happen. Um, and then not only that, it's gonna be worthwhile. Like right now, I'm back on Resident Evil Village. I'm just sharpening my skills up on that game because Resident Evil Requiem is gonna be that phenomenal game, you know. And I advise everybody if you haven't played Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8, aka Resident Evil Biohazard and Village, play those games before you play Requiem because when Requiem come out, it's about to go down. It's about to get real in these streets, in these gaming streets.
oh yeah, no doubt. Because I might think about going back to playing like the remakes of 2, 3, and 4 plus Resident Evil 7 and 8. That
Mm-hmm.
way, get back into the lore. I mean, not just the game, but just going back through the lore because there may be something in there you may miss. That's gonna probably where you probably see a Requiem and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. If anybody's out there who's into the lore and everything, it's like, I mean, you should know like the series is all over the place. Like, hey, where did it really begin? Was it like story wise? I mean, it's all over the place. But usually with Village, it has a connection to the very first game, like
Right.
with Mother Miranda and Oswald Spencer and all that, how they met and
Mm-hmm.
how Spencer got the idea to just like to do the whole virus thing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it started with there. So.
Facts. But all in all, like, what would you rate the Resident Evil Showcase?
I mean, I give it an A.
You give it an A.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, Myers with them?
Hey, what up?
All right, to everybody in the chat, like, what would you rate Resident Evil Showcase? He did letters. I'm not gonna do letters on that one. I'm just gonna stick to the formula. If I had to rate it, I give it like a solid 3 out of 5. And the reason why I give it a 3 out of 5 is because the Resident Evil Showcase it just showed for Requiem. They could have showed or teased other Resident Evil games that they're actually working on, and I wouldn't say it's a waste of time. I just felt like they could have made it a trailer to it to be worthwhile. It could have been a dope trailer and stuff like that. And Myers said 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Okay.
He said it's okay. I agree. Um, and that's just the perspective of it's cool, it's decent, but if they would have showed more Resident Evil games like Resident Evil remake, rumors have it's gonna be like Resident Evil Zero remake, Resident Evil One remake, Resident Evil
Veronica.
Code Veronica remake, and then Resident Evil 5 remake. There's a multitude of remakes like that's on the way. And my honest opinion, I feel like cool. We got them. They should have like teased something. Okay. When it comes to um that showcase, that would just it felt like it was kind of a waste of time. It could have been just a trailer, like a overview trailer. That would have been worthwhile.
I know because the only thing they showed out of it, like outside of the game, the main game was like Resident Evil 7 and 8 coming to the Switch 2. That's base about it, but everything else, like nope. Not even get anything else out of that. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
if they would have showed more, yeah, I probably would have gave it like a 9 out of 10 and stuff like that. Just whatever the next remake was gonna be, if they were gonna go that route. But unfortunately, just one of those things you gotta wait in the future for.
I feel that. I'll give it a solid 3 out of 5. It's like it's okay. It was okay showcase. It's okay. It stood out. Some of it stood out, but it's not. it's not like, oh my god, why? Like, okay, I seen people on social media, not social media, but on YouTube. You feel me? Giving like you could tell the reactions to some of the stuff that they saw from like Resident Evil Village, not Village, Resident Evil Rec Room. You could tell the reactions is fake. You could tell it's fake. You could tell that people are just overhyping something to where it's not to be. I'm not saying no names of who I'm talking about, but when I seen what Leon done, with some of the animations, it's like that's fire. But I'm not going to be like, oh my god, this is the best ever. Oh, I'm getting A1. Like Chris Rock off of Pootie Tang. You feel what I'm saying? Off of a muted song. So you know what I mean? Like the game is anticipated, yes. And am I going to play the game day one? Lord willing, yes, I will be playing the game day one. I know, Sinister, I know he's playing the day one.
Oh yes.
So it's much about it. You know what I'm saying? People in the chat, are y'all playing Resident Evil Rec Room day one? Let us know. That's all we want to know. But Sinister, talk to me about this. About two labor complaints have been filed against Nintendo of America and contractor. You know, what's going on with that?
Oh yeah, because
Because
man, you know about Nintendo and lawsuits, they go hand in hand. But it seems like it's all going through the labor board.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just I think it's just work behind the scenes. Like I think it's people are just with tech systems, that violated the labor laws. Like I guess it deals with people working so many hours and probably not getting compensated for.
Mhm.
I mean, because we're talking about these studios like forming a union just to protect the workers. Like
Yeah.
because a lot of times they because whatever project they're working on, they're overworking them. Working all this overtime, and then after that, they don't want to pay them.
Right.
I mean, they're taking time away from their families and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But still, like, I mean, it's just almost like with the situation with Rockstar. Like some of the people that were fired, filed a lawsuit against them just to fight back, just to get compensation. So,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it's like Nintendo is like, I mean, I'm not surprised at what's going on with them, like doing stuff like this.
The key word of it all is about money. And we're at the point of right now where everybody needs money and people are working and not getting compensated for the work,
Yep.
and which is understandable. You feel what I'm saying? As we're doing the gamer section, we're not getting paid for any of this as of yet. I'm not saying the keyword is yet because we will be getting paid for what we do with the gamer section. And it's also about playing the long game. But when it comes to with unionizing, when it comes to game developers and what's going on with Nintendo, what's going on at Rockstar, it goes to show that when it comes to game development, people are going to really gravitate more towards of doing indie development, like being an indie developer and develop games on an independent scale where they can benefit more. Like if you look at Expedition 33 and Sea of Stars, just to name a few, those games benefited a lot being an independent studio, and the devs behind Expedition 33 said they're not, ever since they got popular and ever since the game done well, they're not changing up the scheme of how they do things, which is a beautiful thing because they want to continue to create passionate games that they fell in love with making. And on a side note, Eight Myers Eight said, "I have played every Resident Evil game and I love the franchise so much, but this time around, I am not getting the feeling for Resident Evil Requiem, but we'll still get it day one." What do you guys say about that, Sinister?
Let's see what he's saying. But this time around, I'm not getting the feeling it wasn't. I mean, like I said, man, it's just each their own about their opinion, because you know how we are. We like to keep our expectations at zero, so try not to believe the hype.
Mm-hmm.
I get what he's saying, just
Nah, that's facts. I understand and I 100% agree with him. But when it comes to, like I said, unionizing, that's a new norm for a lot of game developers because they want to get money off of the hard work that they put into creating games. I'll give you an example. If you look at, okay, you look at Double Fine Productions, right?
yeah.
I'm always bringing this up because I saw that documentary series. It was like 33 episodes and stuff like that. And I don't know if you had the car sound. Sorry about the car sounds in the background, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Got people next door and all that. But Yeah, so I just put it to you in this perspective when it comes to like indie development. Indie development is going to be that main wave. It's going to continue to be that wave over AAA development, and it's going to be like that with AA game development too at this point because we know that indie developers do a lot of work behind creating games. They have to really pre-product the game, and what I mean by games being in pre-production is they have to come together to put their ideas together of what type of game they want to create, who's the main protagonist, the stories. They have to put the studio together and what type of computers they're going to be using, what engine they're going to be using. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into the pre-production of the games and the full production of the games. You know what I'm saying? Because the pre-production is just getting everything together and putting it in getting figures out. When they're in full production mode, it's a different ball game. They really full fledged into creating the game. You feel me? And it takes a long time to create because they have to get the engine right. They have to get the
Yeah.
concept art right. They gotta get the movement, the mechanics of a game right, and if they're not getting compensated from all that hard work, there definitely gonna be some lawsuits. And Rockstar Games and Nintendo and all the other companies that's doing these lawsuits, they have a right to do that because they need their money from that.
Exactly. They got families to feed, bills to
Mhm.
pay and everything else. Like, I mean, we paid to, paid to make a living.
Exactly. And when it comes down to Nintendo, we already know Nintendo is very anti-consumerish, and I don't know how it is with their developers, so they need to tighten up and get better. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Because it just seemed to me like they don't want it, like, just hearing that word union is like, It's like, because, they're always trying to do something like to sabotage it, just, want to get out not paying people, like paying the workers for the work, stuff like that.
Yeah, they're at the point where they're saying, hey, I said a no. Said a no, no, no.
But is that all you got to say about that?
Nah, that's definitely all I gotta say about it because it's really like we heard it once, you hear from everybody else.
All right, well, we're just gonna follow it up with going on to Rockstar System. And so, what are your thoughts about them submitting evidence to the union court?
They're just basically trying to find a way or wiggle their way out of paying game developers because, like I told you, with Rockstar Games, they have lots of studios creating one particular game,
Hmm.
and they could have took the smaller studios and created a whole slew of games. And when it comes to them wanting to unionize, they have a right to union. Yeah, I keep saying the word wrong. Unionize their games. And honestly, Rockstar Games, Rockstar Games have a love-hate relationship to a lot of consumers because they could have been outsourcing their games to a lot of different other developers. Like for example, you see Rockstar Games is taking Max Payne 1 and 2 and letting Remedy Entertainment remake Max Payne 1 and 2 because they are the ones that made the Max Payne games.
Hmm.
And you could have gave a studio that did, like if you look at that Juice Import Nice game that was on the 360 and PS3, I don't know if that studio is still around. They could have gave that a Midnight Club franchise to them to create a game for them. You hear me? Like Rockstar Games is, to me, I like the studio, but I don't love the studio. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's 100% Rockstar Games. It's more of Take Two Interactive for that. And they could have basically just outsourced the games, like I said, but also pay, what I'm saying, pay the devs properly, compensate them the right way. But if they showing proof otherwise, we'll see. So I'm just at the point right now that we'll play the wait and see approach. You get me?
Yeah, that's something you always say. Don't support these companies, and things like that, because
Yeah.
yeah, you may like them for what they do, what they sell, and all that. But behind the scenes, don't know what happens behind the scenes. They can always show their hand. Their greediness. Like it's
Mhm.
like, hey, yeah, we're here to make money. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but for those who work there, they can, the intentions, that's happening around there. So it feels like, hey, look, man, you're affecting my livelihood. It's like, oh, they're gonna fire us just because you want to save some money here and there. We're gonna fight. finally get what's ours.
Yeah, but nowadays when it comes to AAA developers and AAA studios, once you get so much money, they start feeling themselves, and when they start feeling themselves, they feel
Entitlement.
like, yeah, they feel like, man, I don't have to listen to you. I'm making all this money. I'm making billions and billions of dollars milking this one game. They. I'm gonna say it's like this. A lot of these AAA game developers, and no shade to a lot of them. This is from what I see. A lot of them basically just look at consumers like we're idiots, which we're not. And they milked Grand Theft Auto 5 from 2013 to now.
Yep.
They've used mainly the online structure of it. And I always say this: create a small team for the online portion of GTA Online and let them focus on the online portion of it. Let other studios from like Rockstar London, Rockstar Tokyo, Rockstar Duhan, Rockstar North create their own separate games. Like, people have been asking for a new Manhunt, a new Bully. People have been asking for another Midnight Club. People have been asking for another State of Emergency. Red Dead Redemption 3 could have been in development. Well, it's
Mhm.
actually pre stage of development. That's obvious. We ain't gonna see that probably until, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years from now.
Probably.
If we don't know what happens 10, 15 years from now. But all I know is Rockstar games, they take an extremely long time to develop games. Like, look back at the PS2 days and original Xbox days. We seen Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas come out before the 360 ever came out.
Yep.
We seen Red Dead Revolver and Red Dead Redemption. When the Red Dead Redemption came out around the 360 and PS3. We
Hmm.
seen State of Emergency. We seen Manhunt. We seen Midnight Club 1, 2, Dub Edition, which is always going to be the best one.
Yep.
Uh, I beg to differ. I think 2 was kind of a slight bit better than 3. That's just my personal opinion, as far as like gameplay side of it. Um, but Rockstar Games, man, with the unionizing that, they gotta pay the developers, bro.
Right.
That's all I really gotta say, man. They gotta pay the developers, man. They gotta. And I know I've been talking a lot on this podcast. I apologize. You know what I'm saying, but it just when these topics come, man, it makes you want to really speak that
Right.
that nurturing that what's the word I'm looking for? Speak your true essence and mind frame of the stuff in the gaming culture.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you got anything else you want to say about it, bro?
No, pretty much said like you said, man. Just pay the workers, man. Stop cheating them out of your money and stuff like that. You wouldn't be paid to have all this bad publicity and stuff like that. It's like, hey, just get on the same page, pay your workers. That way, hey, everybody can make money, go home happy. But of course, in a world like this, you can't make everybody happy. But no, anyways, to the developers out there, to the publishers out there, pay your workers.
No, facts. But what about Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox? They got an update from the 2020 pledge to improve player safety across all of the platforms. So, from my understanding, is they all coming together for player protection from a lot of different things that's been going on, which I actually am cool with. What I'm saying, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft coming together. That's good for the gaming culture, but they
Right.
still need to compete. They still need to compete at the end of the day. But that's good that they're coming together, man. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I'm agreeing with you. It's like they need to come together. But I mean, yeah, player safety is always important. That's a top priority and things like that. But because a lot of things that goes on online, especially in the multiplayer side. But
Mm-hmm.
but nowadays they put something in place. I think it was on the Xbox side. Like, hey, you can report somebody for saying something inappropriate. I think the other two do the same thing. But I'm a lot like I said, if like you can report and all that if action's already taken, cool. But but some of the multiplayer games, like, hey, if I'm not playing with you or my friends and stuff, like, and I play online, I take my headset off, like, because they're gonna say some inappropriate words and stuff like that. So I don't have to worry about all that. I don't have to hear what they got to say. So because especially the world we live in today, and basically all the bigotry and hatred, you're definitely gonna hear it online. But
Nah,
that's cool.
figurative facts, no fiction.
Huh?
Now say figurative facts, no fiction. That you
Yeah.
absolutely on point.
I mean, yeah, just nowadays, yeah, it's cool that these three, think about player safety and all that. So, I
Uh,
mean,
fa-
yeah, because yeah, okay, you gonna chime in?
I was saying facts. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, because so like, as long as there's accountability, about player safety, I'm cool with it. But I really don't have much to say on that. So,
Yeah, I
what
feel
about
you.
you?
I say what I said on it because it's really not much to say on it. But what I will say is, on a side note, before we move on to the next topic, the Gamer Section podcast is officially on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the other like sites that actually hold podcasting formula. So we're definitely on there. So if y'all want to just hear the audio version of it, y'all definitely check that out. We'll basically put a link in the description if whenever y'all want to like watch the listen to the audio format of the Gamer Section podcast. So yeah, man, we are lit over here, and yeah, man, I'm excited. So if y'all want to just listen to it, y'all definitely stay tuned for that. After the show goes off air.
All right, continuing on. What are your thoughts about Meta, closing three VR studios following a 10% cut to Reality Labs metaverse division?
That VR is kind of on a slow dying phase, and people are really still gonna only gravitate towards either console gaming or PC. Because if you look at, for example, when it comes to PlayStation VR, nobody really talks about PlayStation VR no more, and nobody don't really gravitate to VR as a whole.
Right.
So them unfortunately closing down their studios, it was meant to happen because VR ain't where it's at. You know what I'm saying? People don't really gravitate to VR like that. And people in the chat, what are your thoughts about that when it comes to VR gaming? Um, and not only that, when it comes to VR development and gaming, you don't really see that 100% like it once was at all. Like if you, for example, Batman Shadows, it did what it did well, but it didn't do well enough for them to create a sequel to it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So Batman, not just Batman, but MetaQuest, them closing down on VR and the other stuff. I'm like, so be it. It is what it is. And to the people that lost their jobs, hopefully y'all pick yourselves back up. Hopefully y'all get back on your feet, get with another studio, and create some more fantastic games.
Yeah, my thing about it is pretty much just to pick it back on what you were saying, because yeah, probably when it first came out, it was all cool. It was like everybody was coming down on it, like the MetaQuest and I guess the other VR headsets out there, even PlayStation, jumping in like the VR bandwagon, trying
Mm-hmm.
to release some of these games. I played with the VR one on the PS4. It was okay. I mean, that thing was just clunky. Now the VR2 on the PS5 is a little bit better. It's a better setup. I mean, then of course you can use that one accessory on the PC, but there's not that many VR games on the PC that are worthwhile getting, other than
Mm-hmm.
Half-Life Alex. It's just I remember saying, but as far as the Meta Quest, like I mean, I've seen those things around, but if there was like a demo of it, I don't mind trying it out. But I mean, but as for right now, it's unfortunate, the people's lost their jobs. I mean, just like you said, hopefully, pick themselves up and find another one. Or better yet, just start your own studio, just like everybody else out there, because that seems to be, the thing right now. Because I mean, you work for the big wigs, and then you lose they'll let you go. And why, hey, start your business from the ground up if you want to develop games your way.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as VR itself, yeah, it's starting to go down to popularity because like not many people are buying VR headsets like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because they made though like popular games out there like Star Wars or you know Marvel, DC, anything like that, just to throw it on there just to boost up their sales. But it may be cool in the short term, but in the long term, like it's gonna go down. So it's unfortunate, how the business world works. Is like, hey, not many people are buying it, and also you got to think about the economy right now. Not many people can afford VR headsets, like especially at the prices that are at right now.
Not
Uh,
not not too many people can afford gaming as it once was because gaming as a whole has gotten terrible. Like as far as consoles is concerned, they raising the thing near $1,000 on PlayStation, Xbox, uh, PC when it comes to like the 5090 RTX and stuff like that. Then the games itself, they trying to push up to $80. We're at the point right now, we're in a massive inflation.
Yep.
And I've been saying that, and I'm not trying to get into politics, which I'm not going to speak on. We know why we're in inflation. We know why prices is going up. We know why things is going on the way it's going on.
Yep.
And if you vote for your against your own interest, this is the results that you get. So that's the best way I can describe it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go ahead and move on because I really got nothing else to say about it. Because I'm gonna just say this too. I'm gonna say this. I forgot to say this. When it comes to even free to play games like Apex Legends and Fortnite, you can see there's a popularity decline in that game too.
Yep.
In them franchises too. Because if you think about it, you don't hear people talk about Apex Legends like they once did, and you don't hear them talk about Fortnite like they once did.
Right.
And you can see a lot of games are losing their popularity because Fortnite and Apex Legends was good during the pandemic era, and
Yep.
we're not in that era, even though that virus is still going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, let's say if there's another like type of, I ain't gonna say the word, the C word, all right, because I don't want us to get canceled. The other C word, if that comes back and is even more powerful than the other one, and it's like to the point where you can't go outside, the gaming situation is going to get back popping like it did back with the COVID era, when nobody was able to go outside like that because of the pandemic. You get what I'm saying? And you'll basically see what games will become popular and what games won't become popular, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, free to play games like Apex Legends and Fortnite actually lost its essence of what it was because they're milking the same formula. And we see a lot of these games that's trying to milk the same formula and failing miserably. I think when it comes to gaming, like gaming in this generation, and when it comes to game developers, they got to stand out and do different, be different, and make people believe that your game is better than the other game.
Right. Stop copying and pasting what somebody else has done.
Exactly. If they don't, they're going to end up a statistic,
Yep.
and they end up being fall. They're going to end up falling by the wayside like they normally is. Like you look at Cold Violent and look at Team Kill Media, which we said earlier.
Yep.
They're not creating original games. They AIing the games out and creating the same formula to try to be something that they're not. They was trying to Stellar Blade it out, but it was a massive fail. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's basically the way I actually look at it. You feel what I'm saying?
Good to know.
But let's go ahead and go into the last topic of the whole stream. So let's go and talk about Bobby. What's the new last name?
Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Kotick. That's really a psychotic.
Yeah.
Claims that lawsuits objecting to Microsoft and Activision deal was which led to Embracer's desire to boost sales. Okay, I say it like this here. You know, if I start those sinister, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I say it like this here. I always say this when it comes to the Activision Blizzard King deal. It was a gift and a curse for Microsoft. The gift is they own a lot of franchises. The curse is, the two of the curses is, Microsoft don't utilize the franchises because they just only going to make the games that's really going to make them money. Because at the end of the day, it's a business, and everybody want a lot of the classic games that Activision created, like the Singularity. People want to see either a remake or a sequel to that game, for an
Yep.
example. So then you got Crash Bandicoot and all these other games. So at the end of the day, where is that? So what Bobby has said, it kind of makes sense, but at the end of the day, he was just there for the money, and he kind of really messed up Activision when he was there.
Oh yes.
So he said what he said. I understood it, but he really don't too much have room to talk like that based off the fact of the stuff that he actually done at Activision that was anti-consumerish, and two, where he had caught a lot of basically uh assault cases on him from the stuff that he said and the stuff that he did.
Yep.
So what do you guys say about it?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Bobby is like he's definitely no fan of anybody because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because he had like all those harassment and misconducts against him. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
was just trying to rush the deal and all that, but then send, of course, the Embracer Group. They wanted to put their head in to get to acquire Activision Blizzard. Like they figured like, oh, he was in the way, he was in the block just to rush it, so that way, I mean, yeah, he wanted to get his money. Then Bobby wanted to come out just to counter, quote unquote, try to defend himself. Hey, these are baseless claims, blah blah blah. But I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, Microsoft turned out to be the big winner. I mean, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
got the deal, but however, it's like, yeah, the curse is like, you know how it is when they acquire stuff like that. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, that's what happened.
Oh yeah.
And then the thing is, Microsoft is sitting there jacking their prices. So I was like, hey, that's like how we're going to recoup the money like for buying this massive sale because like that was been going on all that. So now like Microsoft got all this got these franchises like the Call of Duties and I mean yeah because we had a discussion about that. I mean Call of Duty that should remain multi-plat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, something else. I think Apex Legends that's under them. Well, no, that's EA with Respawn.
Oh
The
yeah.
other franchises like Crash, that same thing. Keep that multi-plat. But this of course on the King side, there's like Candy Crush and all that. That's on the mobile. That's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money on the mobile sides. But not many people are playing Candy Crush like that anymore.
No, they
I
still
mean, I'm
actually
sure,
playing. They
huh?
still playing. They still playing Candy Crush like heavy.
Okay, well, I'm proven wrong on that. So that's still popular, but I mean, but still, like, I wait, Bobby Cardi was like, I mean, everybody was wanting him to go on, but I mean, he was just there just to make sure, hey, shake hands and all that. Hey, he just wanted to get his money, get up out of there,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But because of the business world, it's a lot of dirty dealings and stuff going on behind the scenes and stuff like that. It's just a lot of greed that's going on. But ever since like Microsoft finally paid $69 billion for it, I bought it, but I mean, I said Microsoft don't be buying any more studios because I mean, heck, you already closed a lot of them. The past what? How many years?
The past two to three
Barely.
years.
Yeah. See, you barely got anything coming. But heck, I mean, I was ready to anticipate the new Perfect Dark, but we're not gonna see that. Oh, that contraband game that you're probably interested in. Well, we won't be able to see that either.
Nah, honestly though, when it comes to like contraband, I wasn't really like anticipating being hyped for when it comes to that game because you could tell right off the rip it was going to be something like Back for Blood or Left for Dead, but kind of bad in a way.
Yeah.
And Perfect Dark, yeah, I was definitely anticipating for that. I think they got a chance to bring it back down the road. Um, but I don't say it's everybody blaming Xbox. It's not Xbox. It's Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft, like I forgot to. I know Amy Hood or the CFO of Microsoft. I forgot who Mike. What that dude's name is again?
What's
That's
this?
over there. I forgot that dude's name. I don't remember that dude's name. Yeah,
I know you. I know you're talking about. I can't pronounce his name, but I know you. I know you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. To me, he don't have touch. He's not in tune or what gamers want. He's there for the dollar sign. To me, he's like Jim Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not a gamer per se. And same thing with Amy Hood. Um,
Yeah, they probably hang out together, having drinks
exactly. Exactly. You look at Phil Spencer, Sarah Bonds, Matt B, and Aaron Greenberg. They're
together.
actually more in tune with what gamers want. The problem
Yeah.
that I see when it comes to Xbox is they have a terrible time uh, marketing their games. They are horrendous at marketing. Sony and Nintendo got it on lock when it comes to marketing their games
Yeah.
because they know how to strategize and be very strategic on how to actually market their games. When it comes to Xbox, they don't.
No,
I
you
hate
barely
this
see any commercials from them.
exactly like if you look at Keeper, for example, Keeper was not even talked about at all when it comes to their games. like to that game. You feel me? And we gonna get into people wonder. We're gonna get into the last topic of the night, which is the Xbox developer direct and what we like to see. So we'll talk about that last, right? But we talking about this. So when it comes to like Xbox, they don't know how to market. They're not great at marketing and strategizing and how to put it into the forefront of how they market it. They did that with Hellblade 2, wasn't a success because they marketed, they put it on billboards, the post, but you don't see the commercial because people still watch cable television. It's
Right.
cable television, so that's not gonna go away. That's never gonna go away unless something happens to the point where well, I ain't gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. But when it comes down to, and it's just me being real, the cable network is still going strong. People still watch TV on cable network. That's never
Yep.
gonna go away. And people that streams watch streaming stuff too, that's never gonna work because they got advertisements on there. Like Netflix got ads on there, and you could be promoting on Netflix or any other platform, but they are not putting money or resources together to promote because people still play on Xbox, people play on PlayStation, people play on Nintendo, and and PlayStation. They have a great marketing and great strategy. And rumor has it, Grand Theft Auto 6 Sony got the marketing rights for it. That's how their consoles is going to sell because they got the marketing rights for it.
Yep.
So Microsoft has to get it together in a major proportion.
Yeah. You still there?
Yeah, give me a second.
All right. I mean, yeah, just to pick up what you're saying is, yeah, because like the other two, like Sony and Nintendo, you see their commercials out there all the time because they know how to market. I mean, they've been around the gaming business like the longest, no more than Microsoft. But still, like Microsoft, like with them like selling their other products outside of Xbox, you see commercials from them all the times.
Facts.
So,
Only thing I could just say in that when it comes to Microsoft is before we get into the final topic is in the words of 702, they need to get it together. Get it
mhm.
together. And stop trying to be like Sony and Nintendo being anti-consumerish. Get it together.
Exactly.
Because you're not going to win that war. You're going to lose that war. But anywho, we know that this Thursday, at about 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Time, and I don't know, I forgot the time. It's around that time frame that Xbox has their developer direct, and they're supposed to show two games from Playground Games. That is Forza Horizon 6, which Sinister's anticipating. He's looking forward to that game,
Yep.
and Fable, which I'm actually looking forward to that game because everybody know I'm a Fable fan. I love Fable, and we haven't had a Fable game since Fable 3, and Fable
Yep.
Legends got canceled when Xbox One came out. So let's keep it out of well being. Since what are you looking forward to and actually seeing in these games?
I'm just saying, like some of the games that are dropping. Like, I mean, hopefully, like some of them have like release dates and stuff like that. Are I'm sure they're probably going to show the Clockwork Revolution. I may be wrong on that one, but I'm just anticipating what they're going to show. But of course, at these developer shows, these showcases, I always keep my expectations at zero. So that's all I got to say about that.
For me, hopefully they show. I want to see something with State of Decay 3, but they're not going to show it. The real three games that they showing is let's see, Fable. They're showing the upcoming game from Game Freak. I forgot the name of that game. Uh, they're supposed to show something with that. It's supposed to be like a hack and slash, but have some Souls like elements to it, which I'm kind of getting Souls fatigued out. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Roguelike fatigue.
Now, roguelike, I'm good on roguelike games. I'm really starting not to be a fan of, man, because like let's say you get towards the end of the game, then you become unalive in the scenario. You have to start all the way back from the beginning of the game. That's agitating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see. Hopefully, like they said, 3 games, but I think it's gonna be 6 games, and they probably gonna shadow drop something. So
Yep.
I'll say it like this: they show the game from Game Freak. You know what I'm saying? They'll show Fable. They'll show Forza Horizon 6. I think they're gonna show a new IP from a studio that we may not even know about, an indie studio, and we might see Clockworks Revolution and give a release date for that. and then probably some from a third party studio, another game from a third party studio we might not know about. Like, okay, I say it like this: a Spyro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say, a Spyro. But that's really all I gotta say about it, man. I'm excited. You know, the gamer section. You know, I'm personally, I'll stream it on Thursday when it's released because you know I'm gonna have to hold the fort down. We'll talk about it again on Sunday. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Next Sunday, and yeah, it's definitely gonna be lit. I definitely can't wait to really see, and definitely is becoming intrigued by what we're gonna see. Can't wait to see what other type of games they're gonna actually show at this point. You dig?
Same here. Yeah, like I said, I have to catch the replay when I get home. So.
Figurative facts, no fiction. So, with that being said, because we hit that mark of us before we have to get off here. So, with that being said, thank y'all for tuning into a brand new episode of the Gamer Section Podcast. Man, it was a good show today. Had a good time. You know, enjoyed myself. I am Kane with the Brutal Guy Honest Gamer. You can follow me on all my social medias at Real KO Kano, except for Twitter. I'm about to return it back to Real KO Kano. Right now it's at KO Kano the Don on Twitter, but it's gonna go back to that Real KO Kano. Follow everything on the gamer section at the gamer section. Subscribe to the channel. You feel me? Right now we still doing the giveaway for Car X Street for the PC, and we got some other giveaways going on, but we're going to kind of slack down on the giveaways because we've been getting more of freebie hunters instead of legit people that want to really rock out with us like that. So
Yeah.
we kind of making that change in that situation. Not only that though, and this is figurative facts, no fiction. We are looking for other members, like for the gamer section. If you wanted to join, please DM us. If you're serious, you want to join and you can contribute to the brand, what we're trying to do. Y'all definitely go ahead and DM us, email us. You feel me? And we'll see where we go from there.
Right.
If y'all want to get some merch from us, we do have a limited edition merch coming soon. As far as like some other stuff coming, we got the merch out, but we got another set of limited edition merch coming soon. If that makes any sense. So y'all definitely stay tuned for that, man. It's about to be a lit time at the gamer section, man. If y'all want to be on the winning team, come join the gamer section. You dig?
All right. This is your boy Sinister. And you can follow me on my social medias on Instagram. It's Sinister1019. On X, it's Conchu19. And on Xbox, it's Sinister Tar Heel. PlayStation 5 is Count 92. And on Steam, it's Sinister Tar Heel. And then, of course, on the Switch, you have to go to my YouTube channel to get, because I'm not giving that code out here. So, like I said, I appreciate those who are coming through to check us out on the podcast, and stay tuned for the next episode.
All right, for sure. And like, share, comment, subscribe with the post notification bell for when we drop videos. Tune in next week and tune into our live stream of the gamer sections Xbox Developer Direct this Thursday at about 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to 8 Myers 8, for tuning in, and everybody else that's in the chat. Make sure y'all, like I said, tune in next week. About to be lit, man. So we're gonna leave it on that note. We out. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.